sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes. Apparently, somebody went in there last night and did a show on the Ohio State Buckeyes because that is not the intro that we wanted for this morning's show. Welcome to another edition of Talking Sports Sunday, where we're going to talk about some of the two-loss teams who are ranked in the top 25, who may not be ranked in the top 25 after yesterday's action, but who knows? They might still be in there. Also, does Miami have a case for being ranked the number one team in the country and week 5 in the NFL? I'm here this morning with my man SEC Sean. How you feeling?
Pretty good. We got a lot to talk about. We get this one jumped off because we're going to be a while.
Yeah, we definitely got a lot to talk about. So we got an echo. Fabio, you got an echo over there?
I just can't. I don't know. Y'all hearing the echo?
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, so we'll get Fandozea back in here in a minute. But, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. There was a lot of good football action yesterday that we want to discuss. And once our man Fandozea gets in here, we'll talk about some of that. Sean, what's your thoughts on what you saw yesterday in college football as a whole?
Just the parody of the sport right now with all the NIL and transfers. I mean, you got, I want to say it was the first time in history that 2 unranked teams beat 2 top 10 ranked teams. That, 3, 4, 5, 7 years, 10 years ago, that stuff never happened. You didn't see all these. It's crazy. It's the truth of anybody can beat anybody, even any given Saturday. It's just what I see. I mean, it's weird to me that there just seems to be a lot of parity in the league, in the whole football.
Yeah, for sure. Let's welcome in our man Fandozea of the Fandozea podcast. How you feeling this morning, Fandozea?
Man, I'm good, man. I love what I seen yesterday. You know what I mean? I feel real good this morning. And I know we changed the intro. My bad, dog. I know you had to see that, man. I know you ain't like it at all.
Hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
He would have liked it less if at the end of it you would have put the horns down symbol on there.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Nah, Texas ain't on my mind that hard, Sean.
There was yesterday.
Nah, listen. I really like this some stuff I've seen. Y'all think I'm playing when I was saying that?
Oh no, I agree with you. I
seen Arch growing up yesterday, man. I really did. I seen him growing up, and we gotta understand, like he's still young, so maybe it ain't gotta be about this year. It could be about next year.
Yeah, for sure. That's where my thoughts have turned already. So, let's just finish strong. But let's get into some of the action yesterday, man, that we saw, and we can get each one of our perspective on those games. Yesterday, we kicked off with number 14, Iowa State 30 at Cincinnati 38. Cincinnati was able to do some things against that Iowa State team that I didn't expect them to be able to do, even though I picked them to win. What's your thoughts on this game? And is Cincinnati a team that could possibly make some noise in the Big 12?
I think they can make some noise in the Big 12. I mean, I still think the Big 12 runs through Texas Tech based on the way, they dominated Houston. We'll get into that one, I'm sure, later. But, yeah, they can make some noise, but can they compete with the Texas Techs and the BYUs and, Iowa State? Iowa State had really been in close games all year long. They hadn't really looked like the number 14 team in the country to me. I picked Cincinnati to win this game, and they did. So I think Cincinnati's more of a spoiler in the Big 12 than a contender.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cincinnati did whatever they wanted to do out there for real in the whole first half. You know, they jumped out on them boys. Iowa State was trying to play from catch up the whole game. So, um, I mean, they ain't gonna do nothing though. Like neither one of them teams. I mean, Iowa State still might beat a couple people, but they like to play close games. But like when it comes to the Big 12, like Sean was saying, it's gonna be Texas Tech, and I think BYU might give Texas Tech a game later on in the year. But outside of that, it ain't really nobody else is gonna really do anything that's you feel like they're gonna make the playoffs or anything, or they gonna I don't even think these teams is going to even stop like a Texas Tech or a BYU from like their shot at the playoffs or anything. They might give them a good game, but it ain't really nothing serious.
Okay, let's welcome our man T1 of City League TV to the show. How you feeling, T1?
What it do? What it do? It's a beautiful morning. You know I'm feeling good, man. It was a beautiful day of college football yesterday. We got NFL Sunday. It's a beautiful Monday. What's up? I mean Sunday. What's up, fellas?
Oh, we good, man. Good to see you in this morning. We also got our man Post Game of the Post Game 86 podcast. How you feeling this morning, Post Game?
Yeah, I feel wonderful, man. Like T1 says, another beautiful day of football. Saturday was an awesome day of football. And how y'all doing this morning?
Oh, we good, bro. We good. We're right now post game at T1. We're talking about the number 14 ranked Iowa State team losing 30-38 to the Cincinnati Bearcats here in Ohio. How you feel about that game, and what did you see that makes you be concerned about Iowa State?
I wouldn't call it a concern about Iowa State. They're not doing anything except for just playing football. They don't have a chance of going anywhere. So, great game for Cincinnati. Great impressive game for Cincinnati. Although they're not going anywhere either, but it's an Ohio team, and I rock with them. So great victory for Cincinnati yesterday.
Yeah, it's being a Midwest guy, I enjoy seeing Midwest teams be successful. So shout out to the Bearcats getting the dub. Iowa State is a very scrappy team. I don't know if they're the most talented team. I know Rocco Beck is just a dude. He didn't have his best game yesterday. But man, I mean that's that Big 12 football, man. It's 1 week we think a team is good, like Iowa State, and the next, maybe not so good. So um, maybe Iowa State just isn't as good as we thought they were.
Yeah, they had a lot of issues stopping the run in that game. Um, so that really made it difficult for them, especially in that first half where they couldn't get in the groove because Cincinnati in the first half was doing whatever they wanted to do on them. And if they don't get that run game and run defense fixed, then they're gonna have a rough time down this stretch in the Big 12. But we all know that conference runs through Lubbock in Texas Tech. So we'll have to wait and see how that thing plays out. Our next game we got on the slate is Boise State 7 at number 21, Notre Dame 28. What did y'all think about this game? Did Boise State play Notre Dame closer than what the score reflects?
I
I
can go
think
first. Yeah.
you lads, it's your team. You don't go first when it's your squad.
Go ahead, bro.
I think we all saw and have seen that Boise State has fallen off of a cliff and fell into a really, really deep hole. So this is not the Boise State that we saw last year. This is not one of those good years for Boise State. And Notre Dame just went in and took care of the business that they had to take care of. I don't think they challenged Notre Dame any.
I don't know. It was kind of a weird one. I thought Notre Dame would win by more, but I mean, give Boise State props for putting up a fight. But like T1 said, Boise State's just way down. This ain't your grandpa's be Boise State. You know, this Boise State team has got a lot to work on, but Notre Dame did what they had to do. I mean, does it look great? No, but I mean, it's a solid win against a good, what's perennially a good program. But 28-7, I think it's a little closer than what most people expected it to be. But again, that just shows that Notre Dame defense is coming on a little bit too.
Man, that was a weird game yesterday. Every time I looked up, Madison was throwing interceptions, and then every time I looked up, it was penalties being thrown. It was just a weird game, bro. But hey, they won. That's all you got to do for real is just win. So that defense did look better yesterday, though, for Notre Dame. I could say that it looked it better. They was flying around. They were aggressive. So, that's one thing we wanted to see. We feel comfortable with Notre Dame's offense. I ain't think they played a good game yesterday, but they won. So, it was a weird game to me though. I mean, Madison throwing interceptions, penalties all flying everywhere. I don't know if that's just like a shot in the moon, like a little once in a blue moon thing, or if this is going to be a consistent thing. We was texting Melissa Graham. She's a Notre Dame fan. She like, there's 20 plus penalties out here, and that's just something crazy. So I don't know. Win or survive though. We about damn near midway in the season.
Yeah,
Anybody know what that spread was? What was that spread?
Oh, they covered.
They covered. So I feel like if you cover the spread, regardless, although it does sound like it was a pretty messy game, a lot of flags. That's what I mean by messy. But you cover the spread, you did your job.
Yeah, it might have been what the team 17.5, maybe. Was it something like that?
I caught it at 19.5.
19.5. Okay. Yeah, I think that Notre Dame's defense played. You see them getting progressively better and better each week. Even though Boise State wasn't going to put up much of a challenge against that defense, I think Notre Dame. Again, I think they just have to realize you got two running backs, man. And in a game like this, you just feed those guys and let CJ Carr just manage the ball game. And that might have been more what they did yesterday. But a good win for them. The thing nowadays is you got to win so that you can stay viable for trying to make it to the CFP. You can't afford to have losses, whether you on the road or whether you at home. And they got the win yesterday, 28-7 over Boise State.
Real quick, that spread, Boise State covered. Yeah. The spread at kickoff was 21.5.
And it was and they won by what, 21?
Yep. So Boise State
see
covered by
what I mean?
that thing.
See what I mean?
You said it was what?
This is on ESPN. So I'm looking at the ESPN bet, and it was at game time, it was 21.5.
Yeah, I caught it way before that. Like I said, I caught it at 19.5.
17. It opened at 17.
Then they win by 20. That's crazy.
It's all good. I mean, good victory for the Irish. 28-7. I can't really ask for more because the defense looked well. They played well. They had, I believe, 3 or 4 interceptions, 4 sacks. That's what you want to see if you're rocking with the Irish like I am. The defense play well. We know what the offense can do with CJ Carr and those running backs and that tight end. We know what they can do. If I'm the University of Notre Dame, I'm making sure those officials that officiated the game yesterday are never allowed on campus again. That was the worst officiated game I've ever seen in my 39 years of life, fellas. Ever. I've never seen anything worse than that. Ticky tack flags, somebody touch you on your helmet, not even forcefully. It's a flag, phantom pass interference calls, just all type of crazy things. It was disgusting. But outside of that, I mean, I got to see what I wanted to see from the defense, and that's progress. I was high on this defense coming into the season because I knew all the talent they had. And Leonard Moore, I just think he's the best cover corner in the nation. I think he got him 2 picks yesterday, and he's been out since Texas A&M. So they just got to continue to build on that and continue to win. I'm not one. I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. I'm not one to think that if Notre Dame finishes 10-2, they're a lock. So they gotta finish 10-2 to get themselves a chance. But I don't think it's a lock. We're gonna need some help. But they gotta continue to win and win impressively. And we'll see what happens come time for the players ball.
Hey, post game, do you know what conference refs y'all had yesterday?
I believe it was ACC. I'm not sure though.
It might have been that. It might have been Mountain. Well, nah. Those are you up like when they play the games like that. I mean, I think all the ACC. I thought it would be like the refs of the opposed team since Notre Dame is like like maybe it was Big 12 within the Big 12, Big Sky 12 or Midwest, whatever boys in.
No, I think you got to have neutral refs. I don't ever
Neutral?
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when Ohio State and Texas played, they had SEC refs.
Yeah.
We probably asked for that, because they don't call handsy calls in them.
They don't call handsy calls. You're right. They call a lot of holding though.
Yeah, right. Hey, post game, real quick, man. Just a shout out to your Notre Dame fighting Irish. As I was watching my world famous Buckeyes last night, as they were coming out, and I'm just looking at our uniforms, and I'm like, you know what, man, my Buckeyes, we have just the best, plainest uniforms in all of college football, and then something just rung in my head. Man, Notre Dame's uniform to have from the helmets to the jerseys, especially the ones with them gold numbers on them. Man, Notre Dame's uniforms, it's just legendary, man. I just wanted to give a shout out to Notre Dame uniforms today, man. I
Hey,
just appreciate a great uniform, especially the teams that have the history and don't have to, do all of this switching up and all of this and all of that. But yeah, just shout out to Notre Dame and them uniforms, man. They sick, man. That stuff is sick.
yeah, I
Man,
appreciate
P1.
that, man. You know what? The gold paint, the gold paint in the helmet is actually real gold.
Yeah, I know. 24 karat, I think.
Hey,
It's a
yeah,
beautiful thing.
T1. Them
Yeah,
all greens with the gold helmet, them some of the hardest jerseys in college football. I'm not
man.
gonna lie. Hey,
Dog,
them was looking crazy yesterday. You hear me?
dog. I rock with Notre Dame's jerseys, but they uni, man. It's just beautiful where, it's just like just not having to throw on too much and you just still step out to the club and everybody looking like, oh man, he killing them. You ain't got on a 3-piece suit with, big fat gold chains and all of this on. But yeah, man, just big shout out, big props once again to Notre Dame for, what they doing with them unis over there. I actually like it.
Cool. Let's look at our next game on the slate. We got Wisconsin 10 at number 20, Michigan 24. What did y'all think about this game? Is Michigan starting to round into shape and could possibly be one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the Big Ten?
I don't know about Michigan, man. Cause listen, man, that Wisconsin team was moving that ball. They just wasn't completing drives. So I don't know about Michigan for real. Like when they run into the right team for real, that with more talent, it might get scary for them, man. And they definitely not a top 3 team in the Big Ten. Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana got that on lock for me. But man, when I'm just seeing Wisconsin move the ball, like it wasn't like I feel like they moved the ball better than Michigan did for real. You know what I mean? Michigan had more explosive plays in that game. Um, I don't know, man. I don't know. I ain't like what I seen from Michigan yesterday, though. I really didn't.
I have a hard time getting a read on Michigan as well. I don't know. Sometimes there's parts of the game they look great. Parts of the game they look like they're just out there kind of going through the motions. You're right. I mean, Wisconsin moved the ball. They just didn't have the ability to finish when they moved the ball. I don't know. They're not a top 2 in the Big Ten in my mind. I mean, I agree with Zay. They're 4th behind the others that he mentioned. So it's hard to get a read on Michigan. I'll keep an eye on them and see where they go. But it's right now, I don't know what to say about them too much.
Y'all know where I stand with it. I'm not impressed. And when I tell you, I saw some Wisconsin linemen absolutely dogging Michigan's front line. I mean, dogging, not just blocking them, getting a body on them. I mean, dogging that defensive line. I don't see the elite defense that they've had within the past couple of years. I don't see that. The offense, if you stop the run game, I think you have a great chance against this Michigan team. They haven't really, yesterday, like Zay said, I mean, Wisconsin was moving the ball. They were moving the ball. They were running the ball. They were passing the ball. They were, they had a really good game plan. And I mean, I hope they don't keep this up because the middle of that field stayed open all day long. Not sure how, and I don't know what's going on with that defense. Not sure how Wisconsin wasn't able to capitalize more against this Michigan defense. But, as they meet better teams coming up, I think you're going to see a bigger fight and a bigger challenge for Michigan to show that they could be a balanced offense and a great defense. Because right now, really, that offense is built on a run game and it's built on Hayes popping a couple of big runs or something. And Marshall is built on him popping some big runs. If you can eliminate that going up against this Michigan team, I mean, you have a great chance of winning that game. And Wisconsin wasn't able to do it. Michigan did what they had to do to get that victory and try to keep pushing forward to try to make some type of run in the season. But no, definitely not a top 4 team in a Big Ten. I got Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, and Illinois be in front of them, and may even have to talk about a Maryland. Not sure if Maryland plays Michigan, but nobody's talking much about Maryland and what they can do as far as competing with some of these top teams in the Big Ten this year.
Yeah, fellas. Yesterday, shout out to my baby girl. It was her birthday Friday. So Saturday morning, she told me, Daddy, I want some Jordans. So I'm taking her to the mall, grab the J's, and I'm watching the game on my phone as we going back to the crib. I don't say no to my babies if they doing what they supposed to do. So, but as I'm doing all that, I'm watching the game, and I'm just like, man, is Wisconsin about to upset Michigan? And compared to other teams in the Big Ten, they didn't look as good as the other teams. But I will say, man, you only gotta beat the team in the stadium with you. You know, uh, Michigan's defense didn't look as good as I thought they would. But I'm tell y'all what, Justice Haynes, that's a good running back. That's a really good running back. And I agree with T1. I think you can put the Illini over Michigan right now, Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State. But we'll see if they can improve upon that defense. You know, that big game is coming that I know a lot of y'all are anticipating. So we'll see what happens.
You know, I think Michigan is doing what Michigan has always done. They've always been a running team, and they're going to sprinkle in a little bit of pass. So they're doing what they've always been accustomed to doing, and they're doing it. I mean, Hayes has had 100 yards rushing and I think a touchdown in every game this year. So Michigan is doing what Michigan does, and I think that's been their formula for a long time, and it has worked for a long time. And I think they did it again yesterday against Wisconsin because that's what they want to do. They're going to sprinkle in a couple of throws, and they're going to run the football at you. And I think anybody who plays Michigan, you got to understand that that's what they're going to do. And they're going to open up some things maybe here and there in the passing game if you force them to. But I think they're going to run the football well against whoever they face because that's what they do. And they can go into 12 personnel and run the football. Hell, then sometimes they can go to 13 personnel and run the football. So I think they're going to be all right because that's how they've been winning games for as long as I can remember.
Time out, Rob. Time out, Rob. Time out. I can't let you slide with this. Now I know this is your second favorite team. Now you trying to tell me that 3 years is a long time? You saying that they've been doing this for a long time? You telling me that 3 years is a long time, Rob? Come on, man. You gotta help me out.
Wait a minute now. Wait a minute, bro. Wait a minute. Your rival is Michigan.
Okay.
And so you mean to tell me
you just said they've been putting in this work for a long time and running the ball and doing this and doing that. You calling 3 years a long time? That's all I'm saying, brother.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, bro.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
For as long as you've been watching Ohio State and Michigan matchups, Michigan has wanted to run the football. Tim Biakapatuka, Michael Hart. What's the other little Joe?
Jeez, you going back now? When you say a long time, boy, you just went back far, Bubba.
Exactly, because that's what I said. They've been a run-based team forever.
Oh, okay. You just saying they've been run-based. Okay, I thought you was giving your team like some type of props, like they've been out here putting in work for a long time. Okay, I got you. My bad.
And all I want to say is, it's not the formula that we seen yesterday. It's the fact that the defense just don't look like the past defenses that we've been seeing recently.
That's right, the run game is the run game.
Yeah, that's what we saying. We know they gonna score 20 points and keep the game ugly most times because they gonna run the ball and play good defense. It was the defense, the good defense part. The defense didn't look like we talking about a Wisconsin team that's probably gonna end up with 3 or 4 wins by the end of the season. And they were moving the ball
right
up and down the field.
I wasn't disputing that, bro. I was talking about what Michigan wants to do offensively. I don't care about their defense. I was talking about offense. That's all I was talking about.
That's the only thing I was saying. I was like, man, it's not about what we seen from the offense. The offense is going to be ugly. You know, they're going to run the ball. They're going to keep a slow-paced game. It was what we seen from the defense.
Yeah. I wasn't disputing none of that. What you said was spot on. All I was saying was my piece that I thought was spot on. That's all. It's cool.
Hey, T1, Poe gonna get us in the chat, man.
Hey, Poe need to come on with it, man. Poe need to come on with it. That's all I know. Hey, y'all, real quick, Rob, real quick, cause it's about to pop off. My brownies, they got Kyler Murray 2.0 starting today. Y'all got any predictions for my QB?
I hope he fold. I want to see Shador.
Well, I hope he plays good. I just feel like he's too short, but got my fault. Yeah, any predictions for my QB, y'all?
I think he's going to struggle a little bit, at least at the beginning, with the speed and the pressure of the game. But I think the kid needs a couple of, give him today, give him probably next week, and let's see what we got.
The thing is, they don't need him to play hero ball because that defense is not going to let Kyler Murray do a whole lot. So all they got to
No,
do is
I just call him Kyler. They play in Minnesota. I just call him Kyler Murray 2.0 because he just so short, and I just don't know how that works out in the NFL.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is what's the name playing today? JJ McCarthy.
I don't think so that I know of.
Okay,
I believe it's Carson Wentz still.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Cleveland's defense is going to be right there and keep them in the game. All they got to do is manage that thing. If they can run the ball with Jenkins, they can get that win.
Man, they started off the ball on a 40-yard line. It don't get much better than that.
Let me tell you what I think, T.Y., because I took your Brownies on the money line today. I think, like Rob said, they can't let him play hero ball. They got to set up the run because I believe that defense is going to have a day and they're going to give Carson Wentz hell. So as long as they running the ball, I think you can run the Minnesota got a good defense, but I think you can run the ball in Minnesota as long as they're able to run the ball, you know, and unleash that massive pass rush on Minnesota. I got your Brownies winning today.
Okay. It's cool. So on his first possession, we're gonna see. We're gonna get to move on. We're gonna see they just ran the ball 2 straight plays. Got a holding play. They're backing it up. So we're gonna see. All right, y'all. Let's get it.
We got FanDuel. We got Mossberg and Parlay Poe in the chat. And Mossberg and Level Up Sports 10 said, UM is doing what they do. The defense sent many key pieces to the NFL. Parlay Poe said, T1, your second team is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Hey, I don't have a problem with Notre Dame, but actually we all know who my second team is. My second team is Colorado.
Yeah, it is. You do say Colorado's your second
team. That's my second team. And when I tried to get a second team, like probably about maybe 10 years ago, because I just like sports. And I tried to rock with Notre Dame just because they were independent and the gold helmets. And I just liked them. And I think they might have had Willingham as the head coach at the time. And, I was trying to give him a chance. Just look at somebody else. It's a whole lot of football going on out here. And just as Rob and Moss B, they love Michigan. They love talking about Michigan when they're not talking about their teams. And I'm a little jealous of that. I want to talk about some people with the love and passion that Rob and Moss has for Michigan. I want to do that.
Well, you know what it is, T1. None of us on this channel ever thought about having a second team. We like who we like. You're the only one. They got 2 teams in college basketball, college football, NFL football, NBA basketball.
That's just the Ohio in me, man. If they Ohio, I'm rooting for them. I can't root against them. It's Ohio against the world. And that's just the way I go. That's just the way I live.
Hey,
Sean. Go ahead, FanDuel.
I don't know why he slipped that in there when you just gave him the whole soliloquy that he is a Michigan fan at heart.
That's it.
You root for a second team.
And he wasn't coming me, Zay. He wasn't coming me.
You know what it is for me?
Talk.
All the Michigan fans that I know, I have a genuine love for them. Just like all you Ohio State fans that I know, I have a genuine love for y'all.
So why don't you talk about us like you talk about them then? Why you ain't got the real love for us? You ain't got no real love for us.
It's on record with FanDuel saying on many occasions, man, Rob, that's the second best thing you said about my Buckeyes. Or that's the first best thing you said about my Buckeyes. It's on record, bro. I give you your shots too when you're not talking crazy. And you're not being arrogant and you're not being humble. Then that's what I had to say something.
Man, we very humble. Stop it.
Oh, no, you're not.
You cannot say, Now, if we didn't speak truth, if the stuff that we was talking wasn't true, and we really wasn't defending national champions, and Ryan Day really isn't the most winningest coach in college football after yesterday, that would be different. But all of these things that we speak of is true.
We don't mind that because we recognize that too. It's when y'all go overboard.
There is no such thing as overboard when you're on top. You can't go to the bottom.
Okay. Let's look at this next game right here. We got now. Listen, we got to start giving this team some respect, man. Number 24 Virginia goes into Louisville and beats Louisville in overtime 30-27. This is two big wins for that Virginia team. What's your thoughts on that game? Is Virginia the next team behind Miami in this ACC?
I want to go ahead, SEC.
No,
no, you got it. Yeah, and I'll be real quick. I can be real quick with it.
You go, yeah.
Man, Virginia's starting to look very, very impressive, and it looks like look like the ACC gonna get two of them in, and man, Florida State messed it up. Where's Moss at? Where's Moss B when we need him on here and we talking this ACC stuff? And now we have a team like Virginia who nobody said anything about coming into this season. And now they're quietly trying to move up, not trying to because they will after yesterday. They're quietly trying to move up in this top 25 and say, y'all better stop talking about us. And it's ACC. We really, really playing some good football out here. And our conference ain't that good. So we have a great chance of possibly being able to get up in these playoffs if we can continue doing what we do.
Wasn't Louisville undefeated?
Yes.
Yeah.
Weren't they undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Going on the road. I wanted to see what they would do. What Virginia. Would there be a letdown after that big? You get the whole big emotional win the week before. How do you respond? Well, they went on the road to an undefeated team and beat them. Are they the second best team behind Miami? I don't think so. I still think Georgia Tech is that team. But we'll see. I mean, they could be. They look a lot better. I agree with. They look a lot better than anybody thought they would. So it's a team you got to watch out for. Just like I was telling her, you don't know in football anymore with all the portals and transfer. Sometimes it's just going to click, and you're going to play the game, and you're going to beat them, whoever is in front of you. And that's just kind of what I see about this Virginia team. They don't care who you are. Let's line up, let's play, and we'll see where the chips fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Vandal Zay was high on Virginia, though. I'm going to let him say his piece.
Uh-oh. Hey, fumble by Minnesota. Cleveland with the ball in Minnesota's area.
I told you.
Hey, listen. Sean, SEC Sean, you like Georgia Tech. Now, I think this Virginia team is putting their name out there to be really the second best team in this conference, man. I think they're going to win the rest of their games. I have to look at Georgia Tech's schedule, and see if there's somewhere. But last week, Georgia Tech barely scraped out and beat Wake Forest. They won that game by 1 point. I could see Virginia and Miami in this ACC championship game. And if they lose that game, I don't think they get in with 2 losses. They lost to NC State earlier in the year. But I mean, you never know. 2 losses, you lose in your championship game. You just don't know if they're going to leave them out or not. It's just what do they feel the respect of the conference is? What type of level of football do they think they're actually playing in the ACC when we get to that point? But that quarterback, bruh, he makes plays. I mean, he can be erratic at times, but he makes plays, bruh. And I think they got a good running game, and that defense play hard. So I don't know. We're gonna see what happens with Virginia. I think they're gonna win the rest of their games, though, for sure.
Yeah, fellas. I man, listen. The transfer portal era is crazy, man, because I thought Virginia wasn't going to be anything this season. It's like putting makeup on a not so pretty woman, and when she got the makeup done, she pretty all of a sudden. That's how this transfer era thing is. But I like Virginia when they running the ball and being physical. I think that's going to give a lot of ACC teams trouble. I kind of agree with SEC Sean though. I still kind of like Georgia Tech, man, in that second slot. But we'll see what happens. Big win. I thought it would be a letdown for Virginia going on the road after a huge win like that into Louisville, who I thought had a chance to put their name up there with the top 2 or 3 teams in the ACC.
Hey, do we know if Georgia Tech and Virginia, do they play?
No, they don't.
They do Virginia well, they at least got Clemson then, right?
No,
They got the trap game for them going to be at Cal.
So they got Miami then.
no, they don't.
Nope.
Time out. They don't have Junkins.
Virginia
Junkie.
got it made in a way for the ACC. I mean, that was a big win, of course.
Mosby. Hold on, time out. Rob, can he get an introduction? Ain't no Mosby was in the building.
I came in, man. I was watching live, so I tuned in, man. I was just getting a lot of stuff going in the text, and got another interview for this Wednesday scheduled with Jasmine Holiday. We'll be bringing that to you on the afternoon of Wednesday. So I just been in the text, getting a lot of things done, and the world famous Ohio State Buckeyes. I got a scheduled interview coming up with Brian Brown as well. Me and him been talking back and forth. So just been doing a lot of work on the outside, trying to bring as much to what we do as possible. But yeah, man, this team is great. It's good to see everybody this morning. No introduction needed, man. It was just a great show to start, and just good to see everybody on the screens. And this Virginia team is tough. I know what we were up against when we went to Virginia. It seems like when teams have gotten a win against us, as we see how Alabama's faring out, and now we see Virginia coming back with another overtime win. I think this Virginia team is a team, as Zay picked them to win last week, is a scary team. I've been looking at them during that game yesterday at their schedule, and I was watching Kyle as well. Nah, you good. And the only game I really see giving them a problem, of course, North Carolina hasn't really done much. They go on the road against them respectfully with Bill Belichick, and then they have Kyle. Kyle was the toughest game on the road I see them having. And if they could get through this schedule, if they could get away with that Cal, and then they have Duke after that, I think the writing's on the wall for this Virginia team. And it's been a long time coming. If you go back into the history, from the Barber days, and they've had some great quarterbacks and great players as well. So this ACC has been tough this year, as we've been seeing this last few weeks. So, for me, I still have 3 teams possibly getting in the playoffs. And now it's looking like, Miami, Georgia Tech, and now Virginia for me. I had my Seminoles, and we took another one last night. So anything's possible in college football. I will say that. So I'm not going to count anything out, even my Seminoles, of getting a spot, because anything can happen. And we've been seeing that every week so far. So it's just something to look at.
4th and 1, got it. 4-yard line.
Moss, I know that's your opinion, but I'm sorry, brother. Y'all not getting 3 teams.
It's possible if Virginia can go undefeated and Clemson and Miami got 1 loss, they getting 3, bruh.
T1. It's not.
To get in 3 teams.
But now both of them can't go undefeated because somebody gonna get left out there. I don't know because Clemson got 1 loss, right?
Clemson got 2. Clemson done. Clemson
Clemson got 2 L's.
Yeah, Clemson
my fault. Yeah, they ain't getting 3.
No, I thought Clemson had 3 L's.
They got 3 L's. Yeah.
3? Yeah, they got 3.
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, they not getting 3. What are you drinking?
Yeah, I think they got 2 in conference though.
Well, you got to remember, Georgia Tech and Virginia don't play each other. So if Virginia Tech can continue to win and then possibly make the ACC championship game, or vice versa, Virginia make it, and they only got 1 loss out there, They could be the two teams who play in the conference championship in that one loss. Virginia or Georgia Tech team could probably.
What about Miami?
Miami in because they're gonna win the championship.
So that means that's a touchdown, Gabe.
That's your 3
to the
teams.
rookie Flanning.
And what I'm telling y'all is the strength of schedule is not going to allow 3 teams. It's not going to allow. It's just not. Like you're going to see. You're going to look at this. You're going to look at Virginia's schedule. You're going to be like, they beat a Clemson team that's going to end the year with 4 or 5 losses. That's their best win. You know that they're not gonna let them in with that schedule. I'm trying to tell you, this is not a group of 6 teams. You have to play somebody to get in. They haven't really beaten nobody. And when you look at, Florida State is gonna be their best win. Let's say Florida State is the best win. Do Florida State drop another game? Where do Florida State finish off the year?
They dropping another one.
And that's what I'm saying. The best win on their schedule is gonna be a 22 ranked Florida State team. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna let them in with that.
You got an argument about strength of schedule, you do, but if those teams end up with Miami being undefeated in the championship game for the ACC, and then either Virginia or Georgia Tech being in that game with them with only 1 loss, and the other team got 1 loss as well, they might be able to get 3 in the 2 conference people, and then the other one loss team, they might be ranked higher than a 2 loss or 3 loss ACC, SEC, or Big Ten team. It's possible.
But the strength of schedule from the SEC, the strength of schedule for the SEC or the Big Ten team is going to override that.
Not if they got 3 losses, though.
I don't know.
I'm not sold, y'all. Hey, y'all, listen here. I'm not sold on this big strength of schedule thing, and that's coming from all conferences, including the Big Ten Conference. What I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing some good football being played in all conferences. I'm seeing some teams who we thought would be in position to be in the college football playoffs that is now already out of position. So right now, I just think we got some good football going on. And I really don't want to hear the strength of schedule, because we know the strength of schedule is always going to weigh towards the SEC. They're always going to be like, well, hey, they have 3 losses. And their losses were against Texas and Alabama and Georgia and all. Like, listen here, I see some good football. If you have a 1-loss team in the ACC, or maybe even a 2-loss, but you're talking about 3-loss teams in the Big Ten or the SEC getting into the playoffs. I don't think it should be working like that. And like I say, then you got to think about the Big 12. You look over in the Big 12, and this year is looking a little different in the Big 12 as well, to where you may have to say, the Big 12, are they going to get 2 teams in? They're getting 2, right?
I like the way you mentioned that strength of schedule as well. I think, like Zay mentioned about the rankings, I think we can, in regards, start to throw this strength of schedule. I know it's a big deal. Don't get me wrong. But when you got this transfer portal, when you got players, coming from different areas and switching teams, I think the strength of schedule, you got players that's played in these different conferences. They ready to play certain games, certain weeks, if that's the case, but they ready to play, as we've been seeing this season. No one expected Florida to win yesterday. I didn't expect my boys to go out and put that type of show together, even though it was coming together late. It's a lot of things we could look at. The UCLA Penn State game. It's when you think of strength of schedule, it's just any given Saturday they ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been seeing in this football. And we could even take it to the high school level with the Leonard McKinley Panthers and the East High School Tigers and the City League North doing what they do. They don't get the recognition, but their record is just as good as teams in OCC and other things. So strength of schedule, I think slowly will be out the window. And shout out to KT, Justin, and your Miami Hurricanes. I ain't going to forget about y'all, man. Y'all did y'all's work yesterday. And Tony, that boy's supposed to be walking up high school steps for his senior year, but he out here in rivalry games putting on shows. I mean, I just had to give props due when they there, man, for sure.
Hey, I do want to say that I picked Florida to beat Texas 4 months ago.
I already know you was on it, Zay.
Like I say, that's a good thing about these podcasts right here, because now, I mean, you got receipts to pull up. So, it ain't just talk, man. Now we got stuff to back up the verbiage that we spitting out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, can anybody give me the top 3 teams in the Big 12 and what their records are? Because don't they have a few pretty good teams right now, or is it just 2?
Uh,
Arizona State.
I think it's good football in that conference, T1. I just don't think they're the top of the Big Ten and the SEC and the top team of ACC. You know,
What's
like
the records though? That's what I'm asking. What's the records of them
There
top
you go.
3 teams over there in the Big 12? If anybody have their computer up.
BYU is 5-0. Texas Tech is 5-0, and Arizona State's 4-1.
4-1.
That's
Yep.
the top 3. Then Cincinnati's 4-1. Iowa State's 5-1. Those are your
I
top
think
5.
I think Utah is still the third best team in that conference.
Yeah, and they're 4-1, and they're obviously down in the rankings because of the way the conference has played out. But those are your top 5 as far as records go. That's your top 5, and I still don't know about Arizona State. They beat TCU, but they lost to Mississippi State.
I got Arizona State winning the Big 12 still. Like, I run with that prediction even after they had that little, mishap, but they've been looking really good, man. The Big 12 is crazy.
Well, they're gonna lose in a couple weeks when they might lose next week to Utah when they go to Utah for real, honestly.
Yeah. Well, let's get into this next game. We got number 16 Vanderbilt, 14 at number 10 Alabama, 30. Vanderbilt went into Tuscaloosa and lost that game 30-14. Diego Pavia made some mistakes in that game. How did y'all see this game go? And is Alabama back on the right track?
I definitely wouldn't call it back on the right track, but they did get a good victory. Vandy did give them another scare. I'm quite sure the Bama fans were on the edge of their seats at the beginning of that game and just watching the way that Vandy was having success and moving up and down the field. If Vandy could have got an earlier lead, which it looked like they could have, if they could have got a bigger early lead, it could have been a different game. But Alabama got it together and did what you expect them to do against Vandy. So I'm still not sold on them. And when I look at these SEC teams like Alabama and Georgia, I always look at them and say, do they look like the Alabama from 5 years ago when they were, had that dynasty going and they're all the way up top? And I say the same thing about Georgia, because those are the 2 teams who have been winning all of these national championships in the past 10, 15 years. So I look for that when I see those teams, and I just don't see it anymore. I don't see the fear that the opposing team has when they play them. I used to watch the Alabama games, and you could see the teams that they play. They laid down before they even kicked the ball off. The game was over before it even started, and Bama doesn't strike that fear anymore. So, good for them getting that victory, and that's what you expected with them going up against the Vandy.
I don't know. I like the fact of Bama being back. Bama, I think, is back in a different way. For me, I think you're talking Ty Simpson, over 300 yards, made it look easy. Then you got Jam back for his second week in action. He went over 100, and it looked really good. 22 touches, 120, I think 126 yards. So for me, and after we beat Alabama, I was worried about what we would do throughout the rest of the season and what Alabama would do. Alabama seemed to have took that loss and made better doings with it, and we seem to have took that win and still trying to figure out what to do with it. I think Alabama is back. DeBoer answering a lot of critics and a lot of questions, and I think the thing to fear with Alabama is Simpson and Jam Miller, because if they in the game, Alabama is a problem. And then you got Ryan Williams, who's been, like Zay said, out of the slot, and he's been playing on that outside. And then you got, I think it's Bernhard. They look at him kind of like Percy Harvin. He touches the ball every possession, every time they get it. So I think Bama is back in a different way. And it's not the usual Alabama everybody's seeing, like you said, with that fear. It's just you got to go out and you got to beat them now.
Well,
Yeah,
Alabama being back in a different way means no natties.
but isn't it funny, fellas, that after the first couple weeks, we saying who's going to replace DeBoer as Alabama's coach? We saying move Florida State from an unranked team to the top 10. Isn't college football just awesome?
Hmm.
Now Alabama looks like one of the better teams in the country, like Moss said with Ty Simpson. He's been playing really, really well. They get two good victories in a row over Georgia and Vandy. And Alabama is a team we need to watch closely as we get into the latter part of the college football season.
Well, let's welcome my man Parlay Poe to the show. How you feeling, Parlay Poe?
Or
I
like,
can't complain. Anybody gonna listen to me? It sounds like about 5 people talking at once.
something might be wrong with your phone. You might got one of them Michigan Obama phones or something.
What did you think about that game yesterday between Alabama and Vanderbilt?
I can't. Hold on, man. I mean,
Hey, listen. So T1, I think it's unfair to compare Bama to the dynasty days. I think that
No, I
time,
wasn't comparing them. I wasn't comparing them at all.
you kind of was. You said you don't see the fear of them running out and the
Oh
opponent being
yeah, I
scared
did say that.
and them not being
I backed that.
looking like when they used to look when they had Saban, and you know what I mean. That was kind of a comparison to me, you know. But Ty Simpson was out there balling yesterday, and for them to get Jam back is real critical because we seen that running game popping yesterday. Um, and I think Pavia just didn't have his best day. You know, I was thinking he maybe could get a statue off of that game. You know, beating Alabama twice in your career, who else they gonna give a statue to? You know, so um, it was a good game, man. But we gonna ski about Bama because they got Missouri and Tennessee next up. You know, that's the next two games. We don't know what Missouri is, but we know they got a running game, so we gonna see. But I'm sorry, SEC Sean, that's the best receiving corps in the SEC, hands down. I mean, Horton, Bernard, and Williams. That core is dynamic, dog, and that's what you seen yesterday. Ty Simpson was getting them dudes to rock too.
You cut out on me. What'd you say about? Yeah,
I
just
said,
the first part of that.
Horton, Bernard, and Williams. That's the best receiving corps in that SEC. I know you high on Craver and who y'all got?
Oh,
Conception.
I don't doubt that it's the best wide receiving core in the SEC. I said we have the best duo.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the best trio then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I have no doubt on that.
That trio is dynamic, though. It's gonna
Yeah.
be hard to stop them week in and week out.
Oh, of course, yeah, but yeah, I don't doubt that we just don't have that third amigo, as you so to say. I mean, we have two, and I take my two over any two other duo in the SEC, hands down.
that mug stuck in there.
So, Parlay Poe, well, how you feel about that game against Vanderbilt and Alabama?
Man, I thought Vandy was about to cover that 11.5. But like he said, Pavia wasn't his best day, and Ty Simpson, he looked like the best quarterback in the SEC right now. He balling. Dude is balling. So Alabama, that first that Florida State loss might be a fluke. You know what I mean? Alabama, they better watch out.
Hey Poe, it was. You hit that one right there. It was. That's one they know they wish that they could have back, and one that Florida State didn't take advantage of.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think Vanderbilt was able to move the ball on Alabama. They just wasn't able to capitalize in the red zone. They had 2 red zone turnovers in that game. Otherwise, we might be looking at a totally different ball game. And Jet Light is saying, SEC Sean, that Williams and Bernard is a better duo than the Texas A&M duo. I mean, it's everybody's opinion, but that's a good comp though. Those 2 duos. I think that Alabama right now is probably playing the best football in the SEC right now, and we're gonna find out when they play Missouri and when they play Tennessee if they are the best team in the SEC so far. But we don't want to count out Texas A&M, who is still undefeated. They got a couple of good games in this stretch coming up, so we'll get to see what they look like. But right now, Alabama is playing some really, really good football, and Ty Simpson is playing lights out. If they can get that running game going like they did yesterday, then they could be a really tough out in the SEC.
Hey, do Bama play A&M?
No.
Man, it's a whole lot of no's with matchups this year, but with these conferences being this big, it's just going to be a lot of that moving forward. Going to be a lot of games that we want to see that we're not going to be able to see.
Well, you'll be able to see them within a 4-year stretch.
Yeah.
What did y'all think about number 9 Texas going down to the swamp and getting really manhandled in the trenches, 21-29 to those Florida Gators? What did y'all think about that game? Where did Texas go wrong, or was Florida just really that good on that day?
I call it Florida over Texas.
A lot of people called it. A lot of announcers called that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Where Texas go wrong? The first half.
Junkins, he out of here.
You can't
house call.
You can't fall behind a SEC team, a big team. You can't fall behind a good team. I know Florida's record doesn't show it, and they were having problems. Florida still got talent over there, okay? And we knew it was going to pop at some point, and it did. You fall behind a team like that on the road,
it's on
19-7. You're almost not going to come back. And Arch looked bad in the first half, and Florida made plays. And that D line from Florida, they pushed that Texas offensive line all over the place, and then the offensive line from Florida kept that defensive line away from Lagway enough, so he can make. And that freshman wide receiver Florida's got, that kid. Good Lord, that kid went off yesterday.
Or went off by itself.
Yeah, when it started up. Yeah.
Man, Junkins just made a house call from dang near 60 yards. Got called back on the holding.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this one, Parlay Poe?
I'm at Windsor Swimming Pool fellowshipping with the fellas. You already know.
It is.
But yeah, man. Them trenches, like you said, man. Florida look like, I told you, that swamp is hard to play in, man. That swamp is hard to play in, and Texas look like they ain't have it. They ain't come to play. Not like Texas did, and then people talking about coaches getting fired. Shit, he had his team ready yesterday. So going forward, what's that for Texas though? Because Florida considered a bad team. You know what I mean? In the SEC, they consider a bad team. So did that take a hit for the CFP for Texas? We don't know yet. But Florida played. They played, man. That's all you can say. Every given Saturday. What's up, guys?
Yeah, I agree with you. And they also came out just in a different mentality. We talked about this Florida Texas game since last season, when we looked and seen what they had Texas in the preseason, when we was going overlooking schedules in the SEC. We felt that this Florida Texas game would be a big game. And like you said, everyone across the board almost picked Florida. And we just know what it's like playing in that swamp. I'm a Florida State fan. I know we've took some L's in that place, and we not the only two teams. It's quite a few. So, and they just was the better team on Saturday yesterday. It was just a better team.
Man, you know the biggest problem I see with Texas though. They got to that offense is not good. Bro. They're not.
I can't hear you.
I'm gonna have to mute his mic because he's talking to somebody else.
Okay.
Anybody else got any comments on that Texas and Florida game?
Young who?
I can't hear
Want
you.
some Tito's?
Hello.
You want? Are you? I mean,
Yeah, I think. Hey, Rob, and condolences, man. Condolences, because the way that this season is going for your Texas team. I know you couldn't have imagined it. It's just the amount of hype that was put on this team and the amount of pressure along with hype that was put on the back of Arch Manning. I like to say that it was unfair, and it may be the reason why this Texas team looks like this, because we know that we've seen better ball from Texas than what we're seeing this year. We know this Texas program is better than what they're displaying right now, and I think that they just tried to give Arch Manning way too much before he even. Well, I'm not going to say stepped on the field, because we know he came in for Quinn, a few times and did really good. But just the amount of pressure that was put on this program to, go and make the college football playoffs and have a championship defense and a quarterback who should be, in New York for the Heisman, in year one as a starter. Just a whole lot of pressure on this Texas team. And it looks like that it was just a little bit too much for them. And they may not be done losing for the season. It's going to be interesting to see if it can go down any further than what it is. But I know it's at least one more L on that schedule for them. And depending on how they go into these games, and if the coach can keep these boys up and ready to play, it could possibly be more.
OG in the building, man.
That's Iggy Bone. You hear me?
We got the legend Iggy Bone on the show. What's happening, Iggy Bone?
Iggy.
What's up, Bob?
Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, I was looking for you yesterday.
I bet you were.
yeah. He said he was looking for you yesterday. Yeah, hey, the Texas boy taking the L. Hey, it's bad, man.
I've been calling downtown and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody else got anything to add to that before I go?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we heard you talking to like 6-7 people, bro.
Bro, I wasn't even saying a word though. That's what's crazy. I don't even know what y'all was hearing. Y'all probably is hearing my daughter's toys in the background, honestly. But man, the biggest problem with Texas is that offensive line, man. That offensive line ain't moving nobody. You know what I mean? They're not creating holes. It's Arches. He having to constantly slide up the pocket, scramble to extend plays. That offensive line don't look no good, man. And that's their biggest weakness, as we're seeing right now. I felt like Florida controlled that whole thing. So, man, if they can't fix that offensive line, they got more than just one more loss. T1, they got a couple.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Kentucky, but that's winnable.
Hold on, y'all got Oklahoma Saturday?
You got Oklahoma next Saturday.
Oh man, oh good.
Red River rivalry. Then we go to Kentucky. Then we go to Mississippi State. Then we get Vanderbilt in Austin. Then we go to Georgia and play Georgia in Athens. And then we get Arkansas. And then we have our finale against the Texas A&M Aggies in Austin. So we got a stretch that we can lose possibly another 2 games. But we're going to see what happens. And I agree with FanDuel Zaya. Our offensive line is our Achilles heel right now. Those guys have not gotten any better all season long, man. Everybody has been taking advantage of the offensive line. And I think at this point, Cal Floyd and Steve Sarkisian need to open up auditions for those positions, man, and figure that thing out. Even if they got to go ahead and start a freshman in Nick Brooks and just let him be out there making mistakes, it might be better than Brandon Baker at right tackle, because Brandon Baker has way too many pre-snap penalties. He has way too many holding penalties, and he missed way too many assignments. Now, he had a couple of games against some of the weaker opponents where he looked good and we thought he was turning the corner. Yesterday, he looked bad. DJ Campbell has been starting for 3 freaking years, and he is still making the same mistakes at right guard. And then our left guard situation is just as bad. Those guys are not athletic enough. They're big human beings, but they're not athletic enough to compete with some of those athletic defensive linemen, and they're getting cooked. Our best possible run options is when we run duo, where we double team the tackle to get him out the hole. Yesterday, duo was not happening because those defensive tackles was taking on both of those blocks from the center and the guard and swallowing them up and still getting pressure up the middle. So we got to fix that. Outside of that, though, we left a couple of plays on the field because of the pressure. Arch Manning missed a couple throws. He missed a couple of reads that were there. And then when we didn't get the double pass, which was wide open, we missed 2 wide open touchdowns because these guys just overthrow the football. But I think Texas is going to be okay. They got good talent. They got good coaches. They're going to be all right. We got a tough slate ahead of us, but I think that we got a stretch there where we can really get some things fixed. I think we can get Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry, especially when they don't have no running game and their offensive line is pitiful. So we ain't got to worry about them beating up our defensive line. Now, offensively, Texas is going to have some issues against Oklahoma's defense, but can they do enough to win? And can they contain Michael Hawkins if he's the starter for them? And if Mateer starts, can they contain Mateer? Because those 2 guys are really the running attack for Oklahoma. But we'll find that out next week in the Red River rivalry. But I think Florida came out there. They knew what they wanted to do. They got DJ Lagway as healthy as they could get him in that bye week. And they saw something in Texas defense where Texas always starts out with a soft zone coverage, and they gave DJ Lagway some easy throws. And I told y'all yesterday, with Malik Muhammad not playing, they were going to go throw some balls down the field on some of those young corners, and that's exactly what they did at timely times, too. They did it when they needed to. They wasn't trying to force it down the field. They threw that thing on time and at times when they needed to do it, and that kept Texas off balance, even when Texas had a little bit of time to fix their run defense in the second half. Florida played an exceptional game, man. I can't take nothing away from them. And their crowd, kudos to them because they gave noise the whole entire game. They was up from beginning to the end, and those Florida players gave them a reason to be up. So that was good. And I'm excited about Florida going forward. If they can keep DJ Lagway healthy and he can spin it to that receiver, that freshman receiver who played his first game. He just was coming off an injury. That kid is dynamic, man. So I think Florida's going to be okay, even though they got a tough stretch. Well, I'll say this. They'll be okay when they play in the Swamp. What did y'all think about Mississippi State? 9 at number 6, Texas A&M 31. Texas A&M picked it up in the second half and opened this game up. What do y'all think about Mississippi State dropping 2 in a row when we thought maybe they were a team that was probably going to be able to make some noise? Well, y'all probably didn't feel that way, but I thought they were playing some really good football at Mississippi State. What did y'all think about that game? And Sean, you can go last.
Hey, you was absolutely right, Rob. We don't feel that way. At least I know I don't. about no Mississippi State. You know, all of that stuff over there in the SEC. A lot of them early, records is fool's gold. And like I say, the SEC, they're going to get 8 wins. Each team, almost every team going to get 8 wins, just the way that they set their scheduling up. And great job by A&M. A&M just needs to continue doing what they're doing. If they want to get back up on top of that SEC, which they haven't seen, I want to say, since their first, 1 or 2 years into the SEC. So, kudos to them. And I actually would like to see if they could keep it up and challenge for that SEC championship.
Yeah, that was a classic game about getting wore down. Like you said, I ain't feel nothing like Mississippi State was going to do nothing. But that second half, A&M just instilled their will. That's about getting wore down. You know what I mean? Like they play good, man. Like you said, Texas A&M. I'm anxious to see how they do going further because they look like the team in the SEC right now. They look like they the team.
I feel the same way. Texas, I mean, they doing what they do. I think down there in A&M, they need to go ahead and make a big Reuben after the way he ran that ball yesterday throughout that game, and definitely held it down in the second half, just controlling the tempo. And like you said, Poe, they do look like that top team in the SEC. I like Alabama, I like A&M, and I like Tech. But out of all three, man, it's between them and Alabama right now for me. Tech haven't, proven themselves over the years. That's why I say that. But I'm, more nudging towards A&M over Tech, because I'm a defensive guy, and I think the way A&M's defense play, I think, that could separate them from a lot of teams moving forward. So just a great showing, 31-9. I had Mississippi State as a team to watch, but after the way they performed, I don't know. It's going to get grueling in the rest of this SEC.
FanDuel, say you got anything?
No, I really ain't got nothing to add. It was hard for me to catch this game because the world famous Buckeyes was playing.
Yeah, the thing I've been watching for Texas A&M is we already know offensively they got a two-headed monster at the running back and they can run the football. Plus they got an athletic quarterback who can run. They got two dynamic wide receivers on the outside. I don't have any concern about their offense. I want to see how well is their defense going to continue to get better and better and better and better each week. And they're starting to put some things together defensively, which is making Texas A&M really, really scary. Now they got a stretch coming up where we're going to see how good that defense is. So we'll get to find out some more about Texas A&M. But right now, Texas A&M is probably looking like they're the best complete team, offensively and defensively, in the SEC for me right now.
I like what I saw in the second half. The first half, Marcel Reed looked like it was his first game playing the starting quarterback. He was double clutching every pass, throwing them high, threw a pick because, a guy's wide open. If he throws down to the check downs in the first half of that game's probably 28-3 at the half. But he kept trying to force the ball downfield, overthrowing it, double clutching. Like I said, he hit the pass to Concepcion at the end of the half to give us the touchdown to go up 7-3 going into the half. And it's like a light switch flipped for him. And in the second half, he was a different quarterback. He started hitting the check down, started using his legs to get out of the pocket and run when he needed to. The running game's there. We ran for 303 yards. Put up almost 500 yards of offense. Mississippi State was a feel-good story. I've been saying that. I wanted to know what our defense could do after seeing what Mississippi State did to Tennessee, because, everybody, Tennessee has a good defense. Well, Mississippi State put up 34 on Tennessee, and they put up 9 on us. I like our defense. We're still down 2 starters on that defense, too. The kid Bryce Anderson, who hurt his neck against Notre Dame, he's expected to come back probably next week, and so is Scooby Williams. But the defense is playing. Mike Elko's got that defense fired up. Are we the most complete team? I mean, if y'all want to make that argument, we haven't played a complete game. We've been good on offense, or we've been good on defense. We haven't done both.
That's the scary part.
If they put it together for 4, but if we put it together for 4 quarters, it's scary. You're right. But I'm not too worried about it because I'd rather peak later in the year than early in the year. Yeah. I'd rather build to that. Next week's going to be a dogfight. Florida coming to College Station. We'll find out more. Is Florida back on track? Not that they're going to go to the playoffs or anything, but are they back on track? Or does A&M beat them? I mean, we'll find out some next week, but I like where we're at. Are we the best team in the SEC? Not in my opinion. You still got, I think Bama has jumped ahead of us. I think Ole Miss is ahead of us. But I like where we're at. We'll see what happens. If we can get past Florida, then we got Arkansas. Should be able to handle those 2, and then we roll into Death Valley against LSU. We'll see what plays there, but that's further down the road. Right now, Florida's on my mind. 1-0 this week is all we need to do.
Yeah, I know fan Josiah and my man T1 always talking about this SEC stuff, man. But listen, SEC give you some bangers every week, bro. You get some bangers every week. And I know I only been in the conference for 2 years. But even before those 2 years, man, the SEC give you multiple bangers every week.
You calling the 31-9 game a banger, bro?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, what he calling is that he lost to an unranked team, so that was a banger.
Right, that's a banger. Yeah. They had a couple of ranked teams in the SEC lose to unranked teams yesterday. Am I correct?
What I'm telling you is when you got to travel to some
Just
of
one.
these SEC
Just one, okay.
stadiums, bro.
The other one was Penn State losing to UCLA.
Yep.
But when you got to travel to some of these SEC stadiums, bro, it's different. It's different. And everybody in the country sees that, except for maybe you two.
Yeah, hey, it's hard to go and play in any stadium. I don't care. But some are harder. The Swamp, Death Valley, the Shoe, the Big House. There are some intimidating places out here that you go into it. I agree with you, but I don't agree that it's just more intimidating stadiums in the SEC.
I don't. T1, he act like our worst team ain't the Rose Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? Our worst team in our conference is the Rose Bowl. Literally.
Right.
What are we talking about? It's hard to go on the road in any conference.
Then you just had Washington, who had a 22-game home winning streak.
There are some.
I mean, come on, man.
But let me ask you this. When you travel to Maryland, are you worried? No.
Are you worried this year? You will this year if you go play in there.
Are you worried? No. When you travel to any of those teams, man, that y'all way better than, you ain't never worried about that, bro.
What are you talking about, traveling to Kentucky?
Only team you might be worried about is when you travel to freaking Michigan or maybe Oregon is the only time you probably worried. But in the SEC,
right, come on, man.
Georgia has gone to Kentucky and lost, or almost lost multiple times. We talk about Kentucky.
Whoa. I've been in Kentucky Stadium. That is not an intimidating place. They lost because they lost.
It's not.
They lost because they lost. It wasn't because they were intimidated by the environment.
No, what I'm saying is you know that you're going to get a quality game when a team is going to get up for you, even though they're not as talented as you in the SEC, more so than any other conference. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, we're talking about We're talking about Georgia losing to a bottom dweller. Okay. And we're going to give them a pass for just losing to a bottom dweller and say that, no, the team is going to be up for them when they travel there. Like, what we can't say both. We can't say both. Come on, man. People losing the teams they shouldn't lose to. That's all it is.
That is true. That is true. But should Penn State have ever lost to UCLA? No.
No, they shouldn't have. And I'm the first. I was the first one in the chat.
No. All right, well, let's go to this last game. We got Miami, number 3 Miami 28 over number 18 Florida State 22. What did y'all think about that game? And I got another question in here about Miami, and we might as well answer it while we're talking about Miami here. Does Miami have an argument to be considered the number 1 team in the country? What's your thoughts on the game? And then should Miami have an argument? Does Miami have an argument to be the number 1 team in the country?
All right, I'll go first real quick. Let me see, because I got to go take care of something real quick. I think Miami kind of handled the game. I think Florida State made a push late. Miami kind of took their foot off the gas, it looked like, so to speak. I had a hard time. I mean, I didn't watch the whole game. I kind of just caught up with it because it was obviously the same time as my game was going on. But that's what I saw. And I mean, I don't know. Miami just looks like Miami. And plus, it's a rivalry game. So you expect if one team jumps out, the other's going to try to, come back a little. So, is Miami got a case for number 1? They have a case. But I'm still a firm believer of you got to beat the man to be the man. And Ohio State has done nothing to lose that ranking to me. That's just the way I feel. I mean, they've handled everything they're supposed to handle. So, you can't really fault Ohio State. To me, you don't drop Ohio State because they've been doing what they're supposed to do and elevate a team that beat Florida State. No offense to Florida State, but they just lost on the road to Virginia too, which looks like a better loss now. But Ohio State hasn't done anything to say take us away from number 1.
Yeah, this game came down to one team had 3 turnovers to me, and the other one had 0. Tommy looked erratic. He didn't look comfortable in that pocket all game. And I think Miami just was ready for everything they had coming on offense. I think they studied Gus real well this week. And man, I was hoping that maybe Florida State could win this game because I wanted to see these 2 ACC teams in the playoffs because of the brands that they are. I don't think we're going to see that now. And to answer the question, I'm sorry, T1. Miami.
No, go ahead, bro.
I think Miami is the number 3 team in the country where they're supposed to be at. I think the best 2 teams in the country is in the Big Ten.
Yeah, y'all know me as Homer Claiborne. I would love for them to put somebody over Ohio State. I would love for it. I really don't like when we're number 1. I really don't. But Miami just needs to keep doing what they're doing. Miami just needs to keep doing what they're doing. And, if they finish the season out undefeated, I mean, they'll be able to say, hey, we should be number 1. But, number 1 and number 2 or number 1, 2, and 3, we know that first 4 teams, top 4 teams get the bye in a college football playoff. So, whether you're number 1 or number 4, I really don't feel like it doesn't matter much. The main goal is to go and win a national championship. And as long as Miami continues to move forward as they're doing, I think that they'll be in a pretty good position to feel confident going into the college football playoffs and having the opportunity to show that they're number 1 And that's why they play the game, and that's why we love this college football. I mean, because it just every week is entertaining, and we want to get to that culminating event to where we can find out who the champion is and what cream gonna rise to the top. And as I said, if Miami continues, I mean, who knows? The U could be back.
Yeah, I watched that game, and Miami in the beginning, at least in the first 3 quarters, really, they seemed like the more dominant team to me in that game. They were able to do things offensively and defensively to take advantage of Florida State, especially when they was getting the ball in the hands of Tony, who was making plays all over the place. Um, but for Florida State to still fight back and get this thing to 6 points, it shows you that Florida State is not a bad team. They're going to be a team that is going to probably win out the rest of the season. Maybe they can get back into the hunt to play in that ACC championship game. But as far as Miami having an argument to be the number one team, I don't think they're better than Ohio State. But I think the games that they have played, they have a really good argument to be the number one team in the country, just based on the fact that the games that they played so far and how they played, they look really, really good. Do I think they're better than Ohio State? I do not think they're better than Ohio State. But I think they have played some really, really tough matchups so far and have prevailed in all of them. So they might be a little bit more battle-tested than Ohio State, but I don't think they're a better team than them. I do think that they could beat Oregon, though. I think they should probably be number 2, but not number 1.
You know, if this was an SEC team that's fresh off a natty and they won their last 8 ranked games, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Never.
I just want to
Never.
state that. We wouldn't be having this at all.
What do you mean? What, say that again?
Nobody would be, what he's saying is, nobody would be saying, should somebody knock Alabama off the top? They just won the Natty last year. Now we're into a new season. The offense looks great. The defense looks great. The special teams look good. Nobody would be saying, hey, we think we should put Oregon in front of Alabama. They just would. They just don't, dog. It's just the way that they talk in college football.
Listen,
and in college football, they put the SEC up on the pedestal.
People
That's
are
all we're
talking
saying.
about that all over the country. A whole lot of commentators are talking about, does Miami have an argument to be number 1?
No, we get it.
What I'm saying is,
go ahead, Zay.
What I'm saying is, if this was a Georgia team that came off a natty, went through the gauntlet, and won 7 straight ranked games against ranked opponents, the last 7 meetings they had, nobody will be saying, should we move number 3 to number 1? Nobody will be saying that. We tired of getting disrespected, bruh. We are tired of it. Listen, hold on. No. We are king right now. We need to stop disrespecting my Buckeyes until somebody show us that we ain't king no more. Somebody got to show us.
Isn't that what I said?
That's what you said, Sean.
No, SEC Shine, you good. You good, SEC Shine. You good, bro.
Everybody on the show said it. But you know what? You know why it's being said? It ain't to disrespect Ohio State. It's so that you can get people to view something that could be considered controversial, bro. It's all about getting clicks, man. That's why people are talking about, should Miami have an argument to be number 1? Because people like y'all two, your ears gonna go up, and y'all gonna be like, they disrespected my Buckeyes. And all the other are gonna do the same thing.
Hey, we don't sound like that, man.
Remember, y'all say y'all don't feel like y'all should be number 1 too. So
I ain't never said that. I said I wouldn't mind.
You be talking about?
I don't like being number 1.
Don't like being number 1.
I like moving up.
I
don't
never
like
seen
being
a
number
Buckeye
1.
fan say I don't like being number 1.
That's
No,
what
I'm
I
talking
believe.
about in rankings that really don't matter right now. I don't care about being number one right now in week 5,
Right.
week 6, week 7. I care about being number one at the end of the year on that final poll. That's the one I care about. As far as this one, you could put us at 5, 6. I don't care. But let me leave y'all with a whole nother nugget. There's no team in college football who has dropped in the polls as much as Ohio State has after wins. We be dropping after wins. And I've never seen so. I mean, you ain't get to see it this year, but I'm just saying throughout the years, we've won and dropped in polls multiple times. And I
Hey,
don't know
T.
why that just happens to us the most like that. And that's why I don't care about being up at number one during these polls. They're just not that important to me. What's important is at the end of the season, where we at then. Are we making it to the playoffs? Are we making it to the Big Ten championship? And that's it. These polls, and we talk about this a lot, it's just really just to have conversation. You know what I mean? It's just for conversation. And to me, most of the time, the media is way off with these polls.
Hey, T. It's not a Ohio State problem. It's a Big Ten problem.
Yeah,
They dropped
yeah,
Oregon from 3 to 6 this year after
yeah,
a win.
yeah, yeah.
They keep doing it to the Big
Yeah,
Ten.
that don't happen in the SEC, bro.
No, there's no lie. There's media bias when in the voters when it comes to the SEC and the Big Ten. They honestly they think the SEC is the big whatever. But even being an SEC guy, I don't. I know, like I said, it's ball. I haven't seen Ohio State do anything that doesn't say we're the number one team in the country. The defense is, like I've said numerous times, lights out. Lights out. One of the best
Yeah,
defenses
yeah,
I've ever seen.
yeah.
But, it's the media bias. That's why rankings, they're fun to talk about and debate, but nobody gives a. Let's wait till
Right.
the end in that final college football playoff before the playoffs start and see where we're ranked then, and then go from there. And then after the playoffs start, I don't care where I'm ranked, as long as at the end of the year that national title that trophy is being held up by my squad.
There you go. Talk about it, SEC, Sean. That's why I rock with you, man.
For the as far as in the Florida State Miami game, if you would have told me we'd have held Miami to 100 yards rushing, I would have thought we won the game if I wouldn't have watched it. But turning the ball over, you cannot do in a rivalry game. That's just point blank, period. You can't turn the ball over. And like I said about that offense, man, they got an offense. And these two young freshmen, Malachi Tony, not to mention Fletcher Jr. at the running back, and then having a senior leader who's won not just championships, he's won conference championships as well. Just so much experience that Bex brings to that Miami team. And I think I said a few weeks ago, when you get some of these seniors with some of these great talented young freshmen, stud receivers, and just players that we're seeing on the offensive side of football, I mean, you could see it being displayed yesterday in Malachi Tony's performance, and as well on the defensive side of Miami. Their defense is, after watching their defense last night, they have a crazy defense, and it's been getting better. And it progressed throughout the game, and it got to a point to where it was a little tough. And like you said, SEC, Sean, I think they may have slowed down at a point in that game late in that fourth quarter. Even though we fought back, I do like seeing that compared to not seeing it. That's something that I'm not used to seeing. So I think we could win out. I think we could still win. And my prediction on that record, as far as having those 2 losses, I think I picked 3. So I'm gonna go with that still. And I think we just have to bounce back, and we got to put some wins together. We got to put some wins together to get back on that winning side and just prepare for the remainder of the season. I think, for me, I want to see Kevin Sperry. I don't know what it is about Sperry. I want to see this kid. I want to see this kid out there on the field.
Yeah, you giving up on your QB like that?
I'm not giving up on my QB. That's not
It
what I'm
sound
saying.
like it, dog.
What I'm saying is I want to see him on the field. The first few games, Kevin Sperry got action. I think in a rivalry game, sometimes you have to play another quarterback. Georgia did it against Alabama, even though it was an injury, but the way that played a part. If you switch quarterbacks sometimes, you never know what you could get out of that. in certain times in games. So for me, as a Florida State fan, I would love to see both of them taking snaps at some time. I think it is a great thing to see. I think they both have the skill set to do it, and there not be no hassle about it, even in the locker room, because you're dealing with two great quarterbacks in the future, I feel, for this team. So overall, it was a great way to fight back. It was a tough loss. We got to go back to the drawing board, see what we could do to work on some things. We did great against the rush, but we gave up too many passing yards. And in the previous week, we did get interceptions on some of the plays. I think that if we had been attentive a little more, we could have got those interceptions as well. But kudos to that coaching staff in Miami, and respectively, man, they run the state of Florida right now. They got this championship in Florida. They defeated everybody in Florida this year, so that's a big kudos to Miami as well.
Let's get this last college question before we get into a little bit of NFL talk. Who's the best two-loss team, in your opinion, between Florida State, Notre Dame, Penn State, and Texas?
Easy, that's a good ass question.
That is, I'm gonna have to go with Notre Dame.
Put them back on the screen real quick so I can see them again.
His second favorite team.
I mean, but I still, even if that wasn't a team that I can appreciate, I'm going with Notre Dame out of that group right there.
And I'm gonna have to go Florida State, man. Because I think as a whole, like the defense, I got more questions about Notre Dame's defense. You know what I'm saying? And then when you talk about Texas, I got more questions about their offense than Florida State. So, I in Penn State, we just know they're not going to beat. They just lost to the worst team in the Big Ten. I'm never going to get over that, So I'm going to go
gave up 42. Jimmy gave up 42. Jimmy Touchdown. I'm going to start calling him Jimmy Touchdown. Jimmy Touchdown gave up 42.
Now, man, how is it easy, Kev? Like you saying Notre Dame easily? How is it easy?
I think,
and Zay, you just rock with Moss right there, because when he came on camera, he gave us our respect and said them world famous Buckeyes. That's why he tried to get on his Florida State thing, but it's all cool.
Nah,
man, I really listen. I've seen Florida State still beat a Bama team that I'm pretty high on.
I think that was a fluke, bro.
I mean, we can call it a fluke or not. We've seen it. We haven't seen none of these other teams beat anybody.
True.
Real quick, I'm going to jump on this one, and then I got to bounce out. I got somebody showing up here at the house here in a few. Obviously, I'm not picking one of those schools for sure. You can eliminate them, and that's that dude in the upper left corner.
We know who it is.
We're going to eliminate Penn State because that was atrocious.
Yeah.
Of course, y'all know who I rock with, so of course I'm going to go with Notre Dame. I need Notre Dame to be the best of those schools because it helps my resume.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think they are I do think you can make a case for Florida State, but I have to go with Notre Dame because, again, it makes my playoff record look a lot better, a chance to go in. So I need Notre Dame to win out.
Hey, Jet Life said, better coach, better QB. I've been holding off on this too for a while. I didn't want to ruffle no feathers. But outside of Georgia, who has Marcus Freeman beat? He lost to Marshall in 2021. He finds a way to lose 2 games every year. We can't just keep on giving guys passes, man. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold it in no longer.
For me, it would be a homer if I said, peace out, Sean, as well, man. I'll definitely be sending you a text as well.
All right, we see you, Sean.
Peace. Enjoy, Sean.
I don't want to say it would be homerism if I pick Florida State, but I'm looking at Notre Dame and Florida State. I think if we don't turn the ball over in these 2 games, we are an undefeated team. It's that simple. And then Notre Dame, since they've had their losses, they've been looking so much better. Love is giving love. They're giving him the ball with love, and it makes a difference. For me, I'm gonna go Notre Dame. Um, just because of that, I know they've been playing. They got a win streak. We got 2 losses. They got wins, so that negates that for me. And then, man, that's really all I could say on that, man. It ain't no other way to look at it for me. I just think Notre Dame is that team. Penn State's really on the downfall. I don't think Penn State is that team everybody thought. They sit them in the box. They make them pass, and Drew can't throw that deep ball as we see. He's going to chunk it 20 yards at the longest. The team's just kind of getting into that. They blitz some more. They're making Penn State beat you with the run, which is something they're not going to do every week. As we seen UCLA come out and play, shout out to Nico, getting him a win and answering some critics in that game. I think Penn State was, picked to win that game, and UCLA came out and bombed them. So, kudos to that UCLA team that people said was at the bottom, but they just came up to the top in their own way with that win. So I'm just going Notre Dame. Texas, I think at the end of the season, this would be a great question to look at because I think you still got schedules and games to where Texas, Florida State, and Notre Dame, they could still make a push. Like I said, this is college football. It's a long season. We got banger after banger coming, and these next week that they turning out to be. And that's just the best way to look at it for me. Each team still has a chance outside of Penn State.
Yeah, I like the way you put that. At the end of the season, if all of these teams are still got 2 losses, then it'll probably be even better question. But right now, if I had to pick one, I would pick. I definitely think Texas and Penn State is not even in the equation.
Right.
But Florida State
Right.
and Notre Dame is between those two. And the 2 losses for Notre Dame is Texas A&M, who's ranked 6th, Miami, who's ranked 3rd. I would give them the nod, and especially since both of those teams played Miami, and I think Notre Dame might have played Miami a little bit tougher, even though it was early in the season. I think the first game of the season. I think that Notre Dame might have an edge simply because of the 2 losses that they got, or to the 6th ranked team right now and the 3rd ranked team right now. And so I would give Notre Dame a nod just based on that. But that would be a really good question at the end of the season if these 4 teams end up with only 2 losses at the end, which I don't think so. I think definitely for Texas and Penn State, they both got a slate where they can definitely lose 1 or 2 more games.
Hey, Rob.
You had the Ohio State game. You had the
Go ahead.
Ohio State game first. I missed the Ohio State game.
Say it again.
I said you had the Ohio State game first. I missed that one.
No, T1, he didn't even put it on the docket yesterday.
Oh man,
and I called him out about it because he decided to put Michigan and Wisconsin on the docket when Wisconsin is one of the worst teams in the Big Ten.
But we're talking about the number 1 ranked team in all of the country, so like you wanna know what's going on up there.
But if they don't, only reason why we only gonna put so many games on there if they're not playing against a viable team.
I don't care if we was playing Appalachian State. You got 2 Buckeyes on here.
Hey, you saying a viable team? Ohio State is a high.
That don't mean you can't.
And Minnesota was 3-1. Minnesota was 3-1.
But we know Minnesota wasn't going to do this.
No, Minnesota always plays Ohio State tough. That's why we ain't put up 50 on them.
Except for this year?
Yeah.
If you want to talk about Ohio State, you can. This show is not stopping you.
We talked. Hey, we can move to next week when we go against 22 ranked Illinois. It's all good. We know how y'all treat us on here. Keep us off the tab, man.
You'll definitely be on there. Sometimes Texas ain't on there.
Yeah, I got a lot of people that think this is an SEC podcast.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people that tell me that they feel like this is an SEC panel out here, and we just guess.
It is.
You know what? You know why it looks that way?
Because y'all be against us all the time.
No, because if T1 miss and you leave him out there by himself and it's me and SEC Sean, then it make it look that way. Tell T1 well, you can't tell me.
Say stop being absent so much, be in attendance. Go ahead, act like Moss. Act like Moss, because Moss be trying to turn people's attendance cards in.
Well, y'all, we got about 5 minutes. What y'all want to say about the NFL before we wrap up?
Cleveland
about to go up at the half against Minnesota.
What Junkins looking like? He on my fantasy team.
Junkins, man, they called back a 60-yard touchdown, but he got it. He got to still have at least about he over 50. He over 50. He gonna get 100 done, and I believe not yet. That's all I said. They called back a 60-yarder, bro. That'd have had you sitting pretty,
man.
They called back a 60-yarder, man. Uh-oh. Damn. Woo.
Yeah, we got an hour 50 though, Rob. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, but you gotta calculate that outro too, which is about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And what we can't go, we supposed to been ended, ain't we?
No, you can't end. We got to go less than 2 hours, and then that way we.
Okay, less than 2. Okay. Yeah, we got some more good NFL games though, and this Cleveland Minnesota game looking really, really good. Tied up at 16 seconds to go in the second quarter, and Cleveland with the ball on the 7-yard line, 3rd and goal.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here though. I'm about to go to work.
Go get that money, bro.
Yes, sir. I'll holler at y'all, man. Moss, you on mute.
Love you, bro.
Before you go, what your Buccaneers gonna do?
We getting a dub. We got Seattle today. We got a dub. I mean, we a little banged up. Bucky out, but we gonna figure it out. Next man up.
Bucky out after the trade. Good trade.
It don't matter, bro. It ain't a good trade. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Bucky only out for 2 weeks.
I think y'all good. Y'all got what's the name backing him up? Roddy White, I believe.
Hey, when I made the trade, I knew Bucky was injured. You know what I mean?
I didn't know he was injured, but I just couldn't pass up on it for what I was dealing with, and I just thought it was a good trade.
Hey, I be trying to set y'all up right.
No, y'all think
I be trying to finesse y'all?
Nah, I didn't want to.
You be trying to look out, Zay?
Man, I be trying to look out for them, T. They think I be trying to Jerry Buss them though.
Man, no, this dude, he be too busy, man. He be having too many things going on, man. Can't nobody be focused on. It's my first time. I can't be focused on all that stuff, man. Shit.
Yeah.
This dude that threw me at least 18 trades in my first year in the thing.
This your first year doing fantasy, Rob?
Yeah, I'm just trying to navigate the thing, and this guy shoots me 2 or 3 different trades every day. And I'm like, I can't focus on that.
Hey, T, man, what can I say, man? I try to look out for my guys, man. If they don't want the help, though, you know what I mean? They ain't got to accept it, you know?
Now, look, I took your advice on certain moves, though, I had to make in terms of getting rid of that kicker and some other stuff and putting some players in there that shouldn't be in. But I ain't ready to be doing no trades yet, bro. I ain't ready for that. I ain't ready for that. What you think about your bingos today, Mossberg?
I think we on a bye today, if I'm not mistaken.
I think y'all play the Lions, bro.
No, I'm tripping. Yeah, we do got the Lions today. My brain been a little bit of everywhere with the NFL, man, since the Burrow injury. I've been locked in looking at everybody else, but I think this is a game I think nobody want to count us out. That's one thing I am going to say. I've been watching a lot of postings about it. A lot of people feeling that, of course, there's no win for Cincinnati. But when it comes to me, I'm going to throw that Cincinnati 21 shirt on with my Bengals hat, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to tune in, and I think we can get a win today. I think this is the type of game, I'm not going to say a trap game where everybody have is counted out, but we're going to come out and we can play some great ball and we can get a win.
Yeah,
Moss stay more confident than me. especially without Joey B out there. You put combination with no Joey B, and then our defense. Like, my confidence is shot.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
the
last
defense
week the
gets it.
Cleveland Browns helped you shut down my Detroit Lion connection on fantasy football. This week we get your Bengals, and I'm going up against, I think, baby Kev. So hopefully your Bengals will return the favor to me like the Browns did for you, and I can beat baby Kev. Let my Detroit connection get off today so that way I can win this game, man, and go to 3-2. I think my Titans might be able to win a game today against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, man.
I'm rooting for you in your rookie season, bro.
Yeah, we're on the road, but we might be able to get a win right here, man. We might be able to get a win. And Jet Life, I know we all in Big Ten country, bro. But man, what makes this show so dynamic is we all across the board, and we can have all of these confrontational conversations about conferences and teams and all that. But at the end of the day, we love each other so much, bro.
You better believe it.
We can have confrontation and it not even be like a real confrontation, because when we see each other, we all smiles, we hugging, we doing everything that people who love each other do. So we just wait for interesting show, because we all over the board, man.
I got your Titans winning too in my pick 'em. I got your Titans winning, and it's only 4% that picked them in this pick 'em to a 96 percentile.
Talking about who they playing? Bowling Green?
The Titans.
The Titans. He picking the Titans to win.
They play
Who they playing, Rob?
Cardinals. They play the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona.
Oh no, that can't be Arizona.
I got Zay's boys.
Hey, all we need is for Kyler Murray to be in one of those moves, and
That's it.
He don't want to throw to y'all's boy.
Yeah.
Gotta win. Yeah. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all joining us this morning, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to talking to y'all in the chat today, man. And we had some really good action yesterday in college football. Me and Mossberg went down with an L, but the world famous Buckeyes are still doing what they do. I'll catch y'all in the chat, man.
All right, man. I love y'all, man.
Love you too, bro.
All right, one time.
Yes, sir.